So for today's experiment, we're gonna build bridges, and we're only gonna build bridges out of two pieces of paper. So this is two pieces of paper and scissors. And I'm gonna see how can I build a strong bridge. This correlates to a standard for TPS 2-1, and that's where we, as a class, are able to plan and conduct an investigation to provide evidence of the effects of balanced and unbalanced forces on the motion of an object. So in this case, we're going to see if our bridge is able to hold up all these pennies or not. So part of this experiment, before we even start as a class, I would do one of these. It's a quantitative content dictionary. And basically what I'll do is, for example, force. I would introduce it as a new word. I'll have students ask me, have you ever heard the word? Raise your hand. Have you ever not heard the word? Raise your hand. And I'll see how many students have heard the word at least or have not. From there, as a class, we'll make a prediction. We'll predict, okay, what does force mean? What do we think this word means or is? And I'll record anything that students say. Then we'll go into the final meaning where we define the word and where we define the word. So for an example, you might find it in a science notebook or a science textbook or even online in a dictionary. I'll have students at the class draw a picture of what that represents. In this case, it's a human applying force to a rock and causing it to move. And then we'll use it as a sentence. So it might be the force of the rope caused the ball to move. So that's the way I'll introduce new vocabulary. It'll probably be 3 to 4. So it might be force, balance, unbalanced, motion, things like that. So from there, I'll have students begin to conduct their experiment. As I introduce the experiment, one thing I'm going to model for them is my own bridge. And I'm going to show them that, okay, I have my bridge design paper. I'm going to sketch out a bridge, and then I'm going to show the arrows of what force is being applied where. So for example, I have these 3 pillars. I think that the force is going up because it's causing the top of the bridge to stay up. And I can see that I have these 3 pillars. I'm going to place them like this and then place the bridge on top. And I'll also show that the actual bridge, this part, the force is going down because of gravity. The bridge wants to be closer to the ground, or the gravitational pull is pulling it closer to the ground. I have that. I have my sketch, and now I'm going to go ahead and do my experiment where I count on my pennies and I put them on my bridge, and I want it to be as even as possible. So I'm going to do that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops, this time it only held 7. It only has 7 pennies. I'm going to record that because this is my first trial. 7 pennies. I'll have students do this in partner pairs, and I'll have them discuss what were the balanced and unbalanced forces here. What were the forces that were at play, and what was the motion that caused this to collapse? So, was the excuse me. So I'll ask them what happened when these forces were not balanced. What occurred? And then I'll ask them, how can I make this bridge hold more pennies? How can I make this object hold more and balance out my forces? So eventually students will be able to figure out that they can make a smaller bridge and then make our pillars pretty much even around. So one support in the middle, one support on the edges to be able to make their bridges stronger. So I would use just like a mini observation sheet and experiment planning for them, and then have them at least run 3 more errors. Ways that I would check for if the students are grasping the material or not is looking and seeing how well their bridge sketches are and how well thought out they are about trying to improve their bridges. So that's me checking in and asking, um, what what are the forces at play, and what do you think is going to happen? How many pennies do you think it's going to hold? So those are some of the things that I would do for this experiment. It should be fairly like probably like 1 or 2 class periods. Vocab building, definitely a lesson within itself, and then the next day conducting the bridge experiment. But essentially, this bridge experiment hits on the idea that um, balance forces, balance and unbalanced forces on depending on what you have for your bridge, it's going to cause the bridge to collapse or to stay up. It's also relating it to that real life example. Some questions I would ask to kind of have students think deeply about the content is asking them how do unbalanced forces affect the bridge. So whether it collapses or stays up, and how do balance forces affect the bridge? And then also applying it to other and asking them to apply it to other concepts where you might have had too many sodas in a soda can, and what kind of bounces are occurring on those. You might have 2 sodas on one edge of a cup holder and then none on the other. And what happened if you were just carrying it around? Are you going to drop them? Are you not? So comparing it to other concepts. But other than that, the bridge I experiment's very simple, very low material prep. Just having a worksheet where they can design and then write about how they're going to make the bridge stronger. So that allows you to assess students on their thinking and having them draw out what emotions are at play. Thank you for listening.